Greetings, newcomers. I trust you remember the immortal doctrine of Azdagosh, Ulte Kash, Sila Kash, Tul Del, or as it is translated in the common tongue, either dance or perish. The desert does not forgive, it does not bargain, it does not yield, and it certainly does not care who lives or perishes beneath its merciless sun. And yet, here, in the heart of Azdagosh, life has found a way to make even the harshest land valuable. They come from far beyond the dunes, drawn not by water, but by something far more dangerous: sweetness.
Is it a dream or is it real? The way the wind begins to feel. Hold on tight, don't look back. We're lighting up the track now.
Azdagosh is a land defined by extremes. By day, the sands burn hot enough to blister flesh. By night, the cold seeps into bone. Water is scarce, shelter fleeting, and survival never guaranteed. For centuries, only the most resilient life endured here. Creatures adapted to scarcity and to the silence. Among them are the first rulers of the desert. Recall the Drugleg-Han, a race of reptilian beings shaped by sun and sand, territorial, enduring, unforgiving. Long before the desert knew civilization, it knew them. They carved out existence where none should have been possible, navigating dunes like oceans, hunting where prey was scarce, surviving where others perished. To the Drugleg-Han, Azdagosh was not hostile, it was home. And then there came a point when something changed. No records mark the moment, no stories agree on the cause. Only this is certain: one day they were not there, and the next they were. They are known as the Austere Verdann Ants, a species not born of the desert, but one that would come to reshape it entirely. At first glance, they resemble ants, of course, but to call them insects would be an oversimplification. The Austere Verdann Ants are a system. Each individual is specialized into 4 classes: workers, carriers, shapers, and guardians. Their bodies are engineered for purpose. Hardened exoskeletons reflect heat, and jointed limbs move with tireless precision. First, we have the workers, who are the foundation of the hive. They are the most numerous. They are the smallest in stature, yet essential beyond measure. They dig new tunnels, maintain existing ones, process raw materials, and tend to larvae. They are highly adaptable, but their greatest strength is their seemingly limitless endurance. The workers all have multi-purpose mandibles that are capable of grinding, cutting, and shaping. Their heat-resistant plating is optimized for surface and underground work. If the workers build the hive, then the carriers are the ones who connect it to the world. They are the arteries of the hive. They transport sugar and resources across vast distances and maintain trade routes. They have an incredible load-bearing capacity, which is many times their own body weight. They also have amazing navigational instincts and can traverse dunes with near-perfect accuracy. One might say they carry more than cargo. They are the ones who carry the lifeblood of Azdagosh. When the desert threatens, the Guardians answer. They are the teeth of the colony. They defend the hive, escort caravans, and are usually the ones who engage in direct combat with the Druglek Han. Much like any fighter, they have superior strength and speed, and their exoskeletons are the thickest of their brethren. Their pain tolerance is so high, they barely feel anything at all. They are designed to be efficient in battle, but require more rest than any other kind of ant. Their mandibles have serrated edges. They also have reinforced limb joints for explosive movement and possess a rather tenacious venom. They do not hesitate, they do not retreat, and they do not feel. Lastly, there are the Shapers, who are the architects of the impossible. They are indeed the most enigmatic of the group. They refine and crystallize the sugar and design the complicated network of tunnels. They are arguably the most intelligent and have the most sensitive hearing, touch, and smell, but are the most slow-moving. The architects are so precise with their calculations that not even a blade can fit in between the pieces of rock that reinforce the hive's structure. Their mandibles and limbs have a specialized design to focus on shaping. When the others build, they are the ones who refine. Alone, they all serve a function, but together they create something that allows them to thrive in this punishing setting. And within them is the most extraordinary thing of all. It takes something one of a kind to make something one of a kind. The Verdann ants do not simply survive the desert, they harvest it. Deep within their bodies, raw materials, gathered from sand, mineral, and plant, are broken down, transformed, and reassembled into something new. Sugar. Not the kind known to any other land, but something richer, denser, more potent. A substance that stores energy, preserves life, and, some believe, alters it. No outsider has fully replicated the process, and perhaps no one ever will. At first, it was a curiosity to Azdagosh, then a resource, and now it is everything. Trade routes stretch across Azdagosh, all leading back to the ants' hives. Caravans risk the desert's fury for even the smallest quantities. Sugar has become currency, power, and most of all, survival. Entire communities now depend on it, and dependence is a dangerous thing. To the Druglek Han, the change was not welcome. The desert they had mastered was no longer theirs alone. At first, they watched. Then, they resisted. Clashes erupted along the dunes. Territory was contested. Blood was spilled into the sand. The Druglek Han were stronger, faster, and far deadlier in combat, but the Austere Verdann Ants were many. When one fell, another took its place. When a hive was threatened, it adapted. The conflict did not end in victory. It ended in a stalemate. Perhaps most mysteriously of all, the Druglek Han's ability to control water seems completely ineffective to the ants. They are a foe that truly confuses them. Today, an uneasy balance remains. Boundaries are respected, for the most part, and trade is carefully permitted. But trust does not exist here. Both sides watch, wait, and prepare. Inside the hives, there is no chaos, no hesitation, no doubt. Every movement is precise. Every action is necessary. One might ask if the ants are truly a sentient race. Do they have thoughts beyond fulfilling their purpose, if they have thoughts at all? Of course, irregularities exist. Some whisper of changes within the hives, slower production, unfamiliar forms, small signs that something may be shifting. Although, where do the ants come from? Deep beneath the surface of Azdagosh, where sunlight cannot reach and the desert's fury fades into silence, there is a place even the ants do not speak of, not because it is forbidden, but because it simply does not need to be named. All hives are connected, and each one leads to something vast, ancient, and alive. To those beyond the desert, she is called a queen, a ruler, a monarch, a single mind directing many, but words such as these do not exist to the ants. She does not command, nor does she instruct. Her presence is constant, a signal that is carried not through sound, but through something far more fundamental. Every ant feels it, from the smallest worker to the most valued guardian. They do not question it or fight it, for to them it is not control, it is truth. The queen does not resemble those who serve her. Well, not entirely. Her body is immense, layered, stretching across the chamber like some sort of living architecture. She does not walk the desert comes to her. Her abdomen contains the same substance that has reshaped Azdagosh: sugar. The queen does not resemble those who serve her. Well, not entirely. Her body is immense, layered, stretching across the chamber like some sort of living architecture. She does not walk the desert comes to her. Her abdomen contains the same substance that has reshaped Azdagosh: sugar. The ants are not born unified, they are made so. The signal she emits reaches every mind within the hive, regulating movement, synchronizing action, and most of all, it quiets the seeds of rebellion, doubt, fear, and hesitation. Individual thought is rendered unnecessary. In her presence, the ants do not struggle with choice, they simply act. The ants do not see this as control. It is seen as perfection. It brings them closer to the most supreme life form they know of. Some among the desert's traders have attempted to describe her: a living engine, a biological monarch, a mind vast enough to command thousands. The Drugla Khan sees something else, of course. Not enlightenment, but a cage. The queen starts the life of every ant. Rows of eggs stretch across the chamber floor, arranged with careful precision. Each one is identical, but also unfinished. Each one contains potential in its simplest form. Workers move constantly among them, adjusting position, regulating temperature, maintaining a balance so exact it borders on ritual. An ant's fate is not determined at birth. It is actually determined much later. Within the queen's chambers, each developing larvae is guided through a process that is precise beyond comprehension. The first influence is nourishment. Carefully prepared compounds are delivered in measured quantities. Each variation is deliberate. Mineral-dense sustenance produces strength, forming the foundations of a guardian. Energy-rich compounds fuel endurance, shaping the carriers who cross the desert. Balanced intake maintains adaptability, creating the workers who sustain the hive. In rare cases, more refined substances are used, which give rise to the shapers. But nourishment alone is not enough. The environment itself plays a role: temperature, pressure, space. Some larvae develop in narrow confines, their bodies adapting to restriction. Others are given room so their forms can expand and specialize. Finally, the queen herself emits a signal that does more than guide behavior. It shapes the body itself, regulates growth, defines structure and function. Keep in mind, to the ants, biology is not fixed, it is directed, subject to change depending on the whims of the queen. An austere Verdann ant does not grow into its role. It awakens to it. There is no learning and no uncertainty. This system creates a place for all of its members. A purpose is assigned to every single ant before their life even begins. However, on rare occasions, something happens. A larvae develops differently. A structure forms imperfectly. A response arrives a bit too slowly. These are small deviations, but a system that is defined by perfection is susceptible to even the smallest error. What happens when an ant is no longer perfectly shaped? When instinct is no longer absolute? When something like choice begins to emerge? Without the queen, the ants would not collapse immediately. They would continue for a time. They would slowly change. Movements would lose their potent precision, and their coordination would falter, and thoughts would begin to surface. Recently, there have been irregularities, small deviations, minor hesitations, and unnecessary choices. As of yet, these do not threaten the hive, but without the queen, it is only a matter of time until everything unravels. The queen endures, silent, immense, and unquestioned, but it does not matter how powerful she is. Remember that there is only one ruler in the desert, and that is Azdagosh itself.
We will take the body. The queen will decide what to do with it.
No.
No. What do you mean, no?
He thought well. He should remain here. He belongs to Azdagosh.
He is the enemy.
He was. Now he is something else.
You speak as though you knew him.
I did, in a way. I saw his eyes. You saw them too, right?
And what did his eyes tell you?
He wanted this. Not such a grisly end, but a purpose. He was a man shaped by war. It drove him and defined him and enslaved him, just like us.
Do not compare us to them.
And why not? Because we believe we are different?
Because we are, and because they would not treat us with such respect.
Let that be the difference then. We are the Austere Verdann Ants, not the Drugalek Khan.
You are a fool. Ideals do not survive in the desert.
No, but we do. And we decide who we become.
Your decision will have consequences.
I know, but I would rather be punished for doing what is right and be rewarded for doing what is wrong.